I pushed open the door after a long day and said, "Meher, I'm home." I expected her soft laugh, but the house felt wrong. The air was tight, almost shaking. "Meher," I called again. I found her near the hallway, trembling. Her phone lay on the floor. I rushed to her. "What happened?" She whispered. "Ayan, the police came. They said they're returning." Before I could speak, a police siren echoed outside. She clutched my arm. "They're back." A loud knock hit the door. My hands shook as I opened it, and my breath stopped. Standing there was the last person I ever wanted to see. "Ayan," she said quietly. "Alina, my ex, the woman who once broke my heart, my trust, and my family." Now she stood in a police uniform, staring at me like a ghost from a nightmare. My voice cracked. "Why are you here?" She straightened. "I'm here on duty. I need to take Meher in for questioning about a fraud case." Meher sobbed. "I didn't do anything." I stepped between them. "Alina, this is insane. Meher would never do something like that." Alina avoided my eyes. That alone terrified me. She was never afraid to meet my gaze before. "I have orders," she said. I snapped. "Whose orders?" Her voice dropped. "Ayan, please. Let me talk to you alone." Meher grabbed my hand. "Don't leave me." I squeezed gently. "I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere." I guided her to the sofa, then walked back to the doorway. I whispered sharply, "Say it. Whatever you need to say." Alina leaned close. "This case is wrong. Someone pushed it through fast." I tried to refuse, but they assigned it to me anyway. I felt my chest tighten. "Why you? Why us?" "Because of our past," she whispered. "They know you'll react if I'm involved." Anger burned in my throat. "So you agreed to terrify my wife?" She flinched. "If I didn't come, someone else would have taken her already." My heartbeat pounded. "Why are you helping me now?" She looked at me, and for the first time since we ended, her eyes showed guilt. "Because I know what it feels like to ruin someone's life. I won't repeat it." I stared at her, unsure if I could trust even a single breath she took. "If you're truly trying to help," I said, "tell me who filed this." "I don't have proof yet," she said. "But the complaint isn't clean. Keep Meher safe. Don't leave her alone tonight." I felt a cold fear crawl up my spine. "Alina, tell me the truth. Who is behind this?" She hesitated, lowering her voice. "Someone close to you." My stomach dropped. "Close? How close?" "I can't say until I'm sure," she said. "If I'm wrong, it could ruin everything." I stepped back, shaking. "You show up to arrest my wife, and now you want me to trust you?" She whispered. "Trust isn't what I'm asking for. Just buy time. Let me dig." Meher called out. "Ayan, please don't talk to her anymore." I turned. She sat on the sofa, hugging herself, tears streaking down her cheeks. I rushed to her. "I'm here. I'm not letting anything happen to you." Alina watched us silently. Her voice softened. "I'll hold off the arrest tonight, but I can't stop the case for long." I looked up sharply. "How long?" "1 week," she said. "After that, I won't have control." Meher cried. "Why is this happening to us?" I had no answer. Alina stepped back toward the door. "Ayan, be careful. Someone wants to break you, and they're starting with her." I felt my heart twist. "Why warn me?" she whispered. "Because I already destroyed you once." The siren faded outside, leaving only the sound of Meher's shaky breaths. I pulled her close, trying to steady both of us. My world felt like it had cracked open, and inside me, a quiet voice whispered that this night was only the beginning. I held Meher tighter, trying to calm her trembling hands, telling myself I had strength left. But deep down, I feared the storm had only started to rise. I felt danger closing in quietly. When Alina stepped inside, the uniform hit me harder than her eyes. Meher clung to my arm, whispering, "Ayan, please tell her I didn't do anything." Her voice cracked like she'd been holding her breath for hours. "I'm trying to understand," I told her, though my gaze stayed locked on Alina. "But you need to calm down." "Calm down," Meher cried. She walked in and accused me without even asking. "I followed protocol," Alina cut in, but her tone trembled. Alina never trembled. Back then, she could destroy a person with a straight face. My chest tightened. "Protocol? At my house. A complaint was filed," she said. "I'm required to investigate. That's all." "That's all?" Meher snapped. "You pushed me aside and shouted at me like I'm some criminal." "I didn't shout," Alina whispered. "You did," Meher insisted. "You scared me." I stepped between them. "Enough! If there's something to talk about, talk to me. But don't raise your voice at my wife." Alina blinked, and for a moment, her mask slipped. "Your wife?" she echoed, almost to herself. "Right." Meher wiped her tears and looked at me helplessly. "Ayan, don't let her twist anything. I swear I didn't take a single rupee." "I know you didn't," I said. I hoped saying it out loud would steady her shaking hands. But the truth was, I didn't know anything right now. Because the moment Alina showed up, the past ripped open like a wound I thought had healed. Alina glanced around the room. "I need to ask Meher a few questions." "You already asked," I muttered. And she answered. It wasn't a proper statement. Meher stepped back. "I'm not speaking to you alone." "You don't have to," I said quickly. "You're not a suspect." Alina swallowed. "She might be." "Don't," I warned. "Just don't." She exhaled sharply and turned away. "Ayan, can I speak to you outside? Alone?" Meher shook her head frantically. "No, Ayan. Please don't go anywhere with her. Please." I took her hands. "I won't go far. I just need to hear what she wants." "No," Meher whispered. "She's here to ruin us." I kissed her forehead. "Nothing will happen to you. I promise." Reluctantly, she let go. I followed Alina outside, where the night air felt too cold for the season. Sirens hummed somewhere in the distance, fading slowly. "What are you really doing here?" I asked. Alina turned, and for the first time tonight, she didn't hide behind her badge. "You hate me. I know. But this isn't about our past. You left me," I snapped. "Not just me, my parents, my brother. Everything fell apart because of you." She winced. "I know what I did." "No, you don't." My voice shook unexpectedly. "You broke me." Her eyes softened. "I'm not here to bring that back." "Then why are you here?" "There was a complaint," she said. "A serious one. Funds went missing at Meher's old workplace. Her name came up. Because someone lied." "That's possible," she admitted. "But I need to confirm it." "You barged into my home," I said. "Accused her. Scared her. And now you're telling me you're not even sure." She closed her eyes like she wanted to erase the moment. I shouldn't have raised my voice. "I'm sorry." I stared at her. "You never said sorry before. Not even when you walked away." She looked down. "People change. Clearly not enough." She stepped closer. I'm shaking. "Do you know why?" "Because seeing you again, seeing you defend someone else, it felt like karma walked up and slapped me." I took a step back. "Don't make this emotional. You're here as a police officer." "I'm here as someone who messed up your life once," she whispered. "And I don't want to do it again." "Too late," I muttered. "You already made my wife cry." "I didn't intend to," she said. I'm under pressure." And when I saw her name on the case file, I panicked. "Why panic?" I asked slowly. "You don't know her." She hesitated. Ian, she said quietly. I think someone purposely put her name there. And if I'm right, someone wants to hurt you. My breath stilled. Why would anyone? I don't know yet, she said. But if you trust her, help me clear her name. I'm not your enemy tonight. I stared at her uniform, her trembling hands, the memories swirling in my head. You want me to trust you? I asked. For Meher's sake, she replied. Not mine. Inside the house, I could hear Meher's muffled sobs. Something inside me twisted. The past wasn't coming back to haunt me. It was coming back to test me. Alina didn't waste a second. She grabbed my wrist and pulled me toward the gate, her voice low and urgent. Ian, listen to me before you explode again. I'm already exploding, I snapped. You barged into my house with a fake case. That's what I'm trying to explain, she cut in. The case is fake. Completely fake. I froze. What? She looked around like someone might be listening. Meher didn't do anything. There's no proof, no real complaint, nothing. Then why the hell are you here? Because someone high up shoved the file into my hands and told me to take the lead. Her breath shook. I didn't have a choice. I stared at her uniform. You? Taking orders like that? You used to be the one giving them. People change, she muttered. I folded my arms. Start talking. I swear, she whispered. I wasn't supposed to tell you any of this, but I can't watch you look at me like I'm here to destroy you again. Again? I laughed bitterly. You did destroy me. She flinched. I know, and I'm not proud of it. I stepped closer. So what is this? A redemption mission? No, she said. It's a warning. My stomach nodded. A warning about what? She hesitated, chewing her lip in a way I'd never seen before. Alina never hesitated. Ian, someone set up Meher. Someone wants her dragged into this mess. And who would do that? That's what I'm trying to figure out, she said. But the pressure on me came from Inspector Raza. And he only moves when someone powerful pushes him. I don't care who pushed him, I growled. Why Meher? That's what scares me, she murmured. I asked Raza the same question. He told me it wasn't about her. It was about you. My chest tightened. Me? Yes. Why target me through my wife? That's exactly why I pulled you aside, she said. Whoever wants to hurt her knows you'll break before she does. I clenched my fists. Tell me who. She shook her head. I don't know yet. Liar. I swear, Ian, she said, voice trembling. If I knew, I'd tell you. But you know something, I pressed. Something you're hiding. Her eyes dropped to the ground. I just know the order didn't come from Raza. And it didn't come from anywhere on Meher's side. Then from where? I demanded. She finally looked up, guilt written all over her face. Someone from your side. The words hit me like a punch to the chest. My side? I repeated. You're saying someone from my family did this? I'm not saying it was your family, she said. I'm saying the case originated from someone connected to you. Someone who knows your history. Someone who knows how to hurt you. I stepped back, dizzy. No, my family already hates me for marrying Meher. Why would they? That's exactly why, she cut in softly. That doesn't mean they'd put her in a fraud case. People do worse things out of jealousy, she whispered. Inside the house, I heard Meher's shaky voice call my name. Ian, please come inside. Please. I turned toward the door. Just hearing her sounded like someone twisting a knife in my ribs. She's terrified, I said, my throat tightening. And you expect me to trust you after what you did to me? I don't expect anything, Alina replied quietly. I just don't want her punished for someone else's war. I wanted to scream. I wanted to shake the truth out of her. You walked away from me once, Alina. And now you're asking me to trust you with my wife's safety. I'm not asking you to trust me, she said. I'm asking you to let me fix what someone else started. If you don't want my help after that, I'll walk away again. This time for good. Meher called my name again, louder, more desperate. Ayan, where are you? I swallowed hard. She needs me. I know, Alina whispered. Before I walked back inside, I asked one last question. Whoever did this, do they want Meher gone? Alina didn't hesitate. They want her out of your life. I felt something inside me snap. Who would target my wife? Who hated my marriage enough to drag her into a fake case? My family? My past? Someone I trusted? I didn't know. But I knew one thing for certain. Whoever it was, they were about to find out what I'd do to protect her. I stared at Alina, unable to breathe. Say it again, I whispered. She rubbed her forehead. The complaint was filed anonymously. No name, no signature, but the push behind it came with a voice note. What voice note? The one Raza got, she said. It wasn't meant for me, but I heard it anyway. Ayan, it sounded like your brother. My stomach twisted. Zayn? She nodded slowly. I'm not saying it was him, but the voice, it was close. It can't be him, I muttered. He wouldn't cross that line. You sure? She asked softly. No, I shot back. I'm not sure about anything anymore. Inside the house, Meher called again. Ayan, please come inside. I'm scared. Alina stepped back. Go to her. She needs you. I walked inside, my legs heavy. Meher stood near the couch, wiping her tears. What did she say? She whispered. I shut the door behind me. Meher, we need to talk. Alone. Her eyes filled with fear. Did I do something wrong? No, I said quickly. You didn't do anything. She sat down, her hands shaking. Then why do you look like you can't breathe? I sat beside her. Meher, did Zayn ever say anything to you? Anything about us? Our marriage? She froze. The silence told me everything before she even opened her mouth. Meher, I whispered again. Please, tell me. She broke. Completely. Tears spilled down her face as she covered her mouth. I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to ruin your relationship with him. I felt my heart sink. What did he do? She sobbed. He tried to pay me to leave you. My whole world cracked open. He what? He came to my office one day, she cried. He said I didn't deserve you. He said you needed someone rich. Someone who could lift your family name. Not someone like me. I clenched my fists so hard my nails dug into my skin. Why didn't you tell me? Because I knew how much you loved him, she whispered. I didn't want you to choose between us. He made that choice for me, I said, voice shaking. How dare he touch my marriage? How dare he try to buy my wife like she's Ayan, she whispered, grabbing my hand. I didn't want to break your heart. He broke it, I said. Not you. She cried harder. I was scared. I thought if I told you, you'd fight him, and your family would blame me even more. They already blame you, I said. They never accepted you. And that's why I kept quiet, she whispered. I didn't want things to get worse. I leaned forward, resting my forehead against hers. Meher, tell me everything. Every word he said. She took a trembling breath. He told me you'd be nothing without him. That he built your career connections. That your place in the family depended on him. And if I loved you, I'd walk away. My chest felt like it was burning. Did he threaten you? No, she said. But his words, they felt like a threat. He even said he'd help me move abroad if I disappeared. I stood up, pacing, so that voice Alina heard it really could be him. Meher looked down. Ayan, do you think he hates me that much? I swallowed hard. He hates that I chose you over everything he planned for me. she whispered. Do you think he filed a complaint? I don't know, I said. But someone wants you gone. Someone with access. Someone close enough to hurt you without leaving fingerprints. She touched my arm. I'm scared. I pulled her into my arms. I won't let anyone touch you. Not police. Not strangers. And definitely not my brother. She cried against my chest. Why would your own family do this? Because they never saw us as equals, I said. Because they think love is weakness. Because they think I'm easier to control without you, she whispered. Then who can we trust? I looked at the door where Alina had stood moments ago. I don't know, I said. But if my own blood is the enemy, then I'm ready to fight him. The station looked different at night. Quiet, half-lit, and colder than I remembered. Alina walked ahead of us, keys in hand, but her shoulders were tense. Meher held my arm like she was afraid the floor might disappear. Are you sure about this? Meher whispered. No, I said honestly. But we need answers. Alina stopped at the door to the records room. We'll talk inside. No cameras here after hours. Why after hours? I asked. Because I don't want anyone knowing I helped you, she said, unlocking the door. If Raza finds out, I'm done. We stepped inside. A junior officer looked up from a desk. Alina waved at him. Farouk, go upstairs. I'll finish the documentation. He blinked in confusion. But ma'am, now, she said firmly. He rushed out without another word. Once the door closed, she pulled a thin file from the table and slid it toward me. This is the case against Meher. Meher's legs wobbled. Please, just tell me the truth. Is my name actually on anything? Alina opened the file. Your name is there, yes, but the signature isn't yours. She pointed at the page. I stared at the signature. It looked like Meher's, but not exactly. Too sharp, too rushed. This is fake, I said. Obviously, Alina replied. The entire file is built on forged documents. Meher covered her mouth. Why would someone do this to me? That's what we're trying to find out, Alina said softly. I held the paper closer. Who submitted this? Whose handwriting is this? Whose stamp? I traced the stamp, Alina said. It was stolen from the finance department 2 months ago. And no one noticed? I snapped. She shrugged helplessly. A lot of stamps get misplaced. No one reports it because they're afraid of Raza. I looked at her. You said you'd show us everything. So show us. She placed 3 more papers on the table. These are the statements made against Meher. All fake. The witnesses don't exist. Meher collapsed into the chair. I didn't steal anything. I didn't even know these people. I know, Alina said. That's why I brought you here. I needed you to see this with your own eyes. I felt anger rising in my throat. If everything is fake, why is the case still active? Because someone powerful wants it active, she said. And if I push back too hard, they'll replace me with someone who won't ask questions. So what do we do? I asked. Alina took a slow breath. I'm going to stall the case. How long? I asked. 1 week, she said. After that, I can't stop it anymore. Meher's voice broke. A week? That's all. I'm risking my badge giving you even that much, she replied. But I can't hold it forever. I leaned over the table. Just tell me who's behind it. I don't know yet, she said. But I'll keep digging. You owe me more than that, I whispered. She froze. For a second, the air in the room felt heavy. Then she spoke, her voice trembling. I know I do. Meher looked between us. What does that mean? I stayed silent, but Alina turned to Meher instead of me. I hurt him, she said quietly. Years ago. More than most people know. Meher sniffed. And now you want to fix things? I'm not trying to fix the past, Alina said. I can't. What I did, it broke him. Her voice cracked. And I'm sorry. For all of it. I stared at her. I had imagined this moment for years, Alina apologizing. But it didn't feel like victory. It felt like opening an old wound. You never said sorry before, I said. I wasn't brave enough, she whispered. I thought leaving you would make your life better. It destroyed me, I said. I know, she whispered again. Her eyes glistened, but she blinked the tears away and pointed back at the file. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for time. 1 week. I'll stall everything. You use that week to find who's after Meher. Meher grabbed my hand. I don't want you dragged into more pain because of me. You're my wife, I said. If someone's trying to ruin you, they're trying to ruin us both. Alina stepped back. I'll message you updates. But after tonight, don't come near the station. Don't call me. Don't ask questions here. Why? I asked. Because the walls have ears, she said. And you're running out of time. I closed the file and held Meher close. 1 week. 7 days to uncover the enemy hiding inside my own life. And the only person helping me was the woman who once broke me. I stood outside Zion's house, my fists clenched so tight my nails bit into my palms. When he opened the door, he didn't even look surprised. So you finally came, he said, stepping aside. I walked in, ignoring the smugness dripping from his voice. We're talking now, I said. No lies, no excuses. He leaned against the wall. Ask whatever you want. What are you doing to my marriage? I asked. Why are you dragging Meher into this mess? He smirked. Why? Because she isn't good enough for you. She was never good enough. You're letting her steal you from the family, and I'm fixing your mistake. My breath caught. Fixing my mistake? By framing her? By destroying her reputation? Yes, he said casually. If you listened to me earlier, none of this would have been necessary. You admit it, I whispered. You're admitting everything. Of course, he said. Why would I hide it from you? You won't do anything. What makes you so sure? I asked, stepping closer. He chuckled. Who will believe your wife over me? I'm the responsible one. The dependable one. You've always been blinded by emotions. Each word felt like a knife. You think this is a joke? No, he said. I think you're naive. You've always been soft. That's why someone like Meher could manipulate you. She didn't manipulate me, I shot back. You did. For years. He rolled his eyes. I did what was necessary to keep the family intact. You're breaking it, I said. Not saving it. Before he could respond, Amina stepped out from the hallway, her eyes red. Zion, stop, she cried. Please. I heard everything. He groaned. Amina, go back inside. No, she said, shaking her head. You're hurting him. You're hurting all of us. He glared at her. Don't start. You can't ruin his marriage, she said. You can't do this to Meher. She's never done anything to you. She took my brother, he snapped. You don't understand. She didn't take him, Amina insisted. He chose her. You just hate that you couldn't control it. I watched them, stunned. How long have you known? I asked her. Long enough, she whispered. Long enough to be ashamed. Zion scoffed. Oh, please. Spare me the drama. It's not drama, she said. It's truth. And you can't keep twisting it. I stepped forward. Zion, listen. I'm giving you one chance. Fix this. Tell the truth. And if I don't, he challenged, I'll expose you. He laughed loudly. You? Expose me? You really think anyone will side with Meher? Or with you, after everything? I don't care who believes me, I said. I'm done letting you control my life. You're being stupid, he muttered. No, I said. I'm finally seeing clearly. Amina grabbed my arm. "Please leave," she whispered. "He won't stop today. He's too angry." I nodded slowly. "I'm leaving, but this isn't over." Zion shrugged. "Do whatever you want. You'll come back to me eventually. You always do." His confidence made my stomach twist. I turned toward the door, but before I stepped out, Amina spoke again. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "I should have said something earlier." "It's not your fault," I replied. "But you need to stay safe. He's not thinking straight." She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. A quiet figure appeared behind her. Fariha, standing silently, her face pale. She didn't speak, but the guilt in her eyes was unmistakable. I walked out of the house, my legs shaking. The night air hit me like a slap. For years, I'd believed the enemy was outside, somewhere far away. But tonight I learned the truth. The person trying to destroy my marriage had been eating at the same table, laughing in the same rooms, living under the same roof. And the realization hollowed me out in a way nothing else ever had. As I reached my car, my hands refused to stop trembling. I kept hearing his laugh, that cold certainty that he owned the truth. I gripped the steering wheel and whispered to myself that I wouldn't let him win. Not this time. Not again. Whatever came next, I would protect Meher, even if it meant standing alone. I promised. The week crawled by like a weight pressing on my chest. Every day brought a new rumor, a new whisper, a new reason for Meher to lower her eyes. When she told me she'd lost her job, her voice barely held together. "It's because of the case, isn't it?" she asked. I didn't know how to answer without breaking more. "I'm fixing it," I said. "I swear I'm fixing it." "You keep saying that," she replied. "But everything keeps getting worse." "I know," I whispered. "But Alina said she's stalling the case. We just need time." That evening, Alina called me from an unknown number. "Don't use your phone," she warned immediately. "They're monitoring everything." "Who's they?" I asked. "People higher than Zion," she said. "People helping him. He's trying to move the case forward. He wants it closed before the week ends." My heart sank. "You said you could give me 7 days." "I did give you 7, she said, her voice tense. "But he's pushing harder than I expected. I'm fighting it, but I'm being watched. I can't interfere openly anymore." "How bad is it?" I asked. She hesitated. "Bad enough that you need to be careful, especially at night." I swallowed hard. "So this is bigger than just family?" "Yes," she said. "It's about power, and you're standing in the way." Later that night, Meher sat beside me on the couch, clutching my sleeve. "Can we survive this?" she asked. "We have to," I said. "I won't let him win." "You don't know him like I do," she whispered. "Yes," I said. "I finally do." Around midnight, I heard a faint scraping at the back door. At first, I thought it was the wind, but then something clicked. Metal hitting metal. I stood up immediately. "Stay here," I told Meher. "What's happening?" she asked, panic rising in her voice. "Just stay behind me." I walked slowly toward the kitchen, every instinct screaming. The scraping grew louder, then stopped. For a moment, everything went silent. Then the door jolted violently. I jumped back. "Who's there?" I shouted. No answer. The door rattled again, harder this time. Meher cried out from the living room. "Call someone," she yelled. "I'm trying." I dialed, but the signal kept cutting. The third attempt finally went through. "There's someone trying to break in," I said. "Send help fast." The attacker kept pushing until the lock started bending. I grabbed a heavy vase and held it tight, ready to swing if he got through. "Get away from my house," I shouted, trying to sound braver than I felt. Footsteps echoed outside, running fast. Then silence. Police arrived minutes later. One officer checked the backyard. "They almost got in," he said. "You're lucky you heard them." "Do you know who it was?" I asked. "Not yet," he replied. "But someone wanted in badly." After they left, Meher wrapped her arms around herself. "This is because of him," she whispered. "He wants to scare us." I nodded. "He doesn't just want you arrested," I said. "He wants us broken." The realization burned through me. I felt something shift inside. A heat rising, fierce and steady. "I'm done letting him dictate my life," I said. "What are you going to do?" she asked. "Fight back," I said. "Not with violence. With truth." "Truth isn't enough for people like him," she murmured. "It will be," I said. "I'll make it enough." My phone vibrated. A message from Alina appeared. "Be ready. Everything is about to explode." I stared at the words for a long moment. "Let it explode," I whispered. "I'm not running anymore." And that night, for the first time in weeks, my fear turned into fire. Alina didn't wait for me to ask. "I've gathered everything," she said the moment I met her outside the station. Audio clips, forged documents, statements from people Zion tried to bribe. "We can stop this tonight." I blinked. "All of it? You risked your job for us." She shrugged. "It's not the first time I risked something for someone I shouldn't care about." I clenched my jaw. "Just tell me it works." She smiled faintly. "It will. But we have to move fast." Inside the station, she led me to a small office. Two men sat nervously. Khalid, who had forged the documents, and Arshad, a security guard Zion had bribed. Both looked terrified when Alina entered. "Sit," she said firmly. "You're here to tell the truth." Khalid swallowed. I don't want trouble, ma'am." "You already have trouble," Alina said. "The truth will save you if you cooperate. If you lie, it will bury you." Arshad nodded, shaking. "I'll tell everything." "Good," she said. "Start from the beginning." Khalid cleared his throat. "I made the fake signatures. Zion, he said it was for the family, to protect them. I didn't know he'd hurt anyone else." "And you?" I asked, voice shaking. "You knew Meher's name would be used?" Khalid looked down. "I didn't care. I was scared of him." Arshad spoke next. "He gave me money to watch the files, to make sure no one stopped him. I should have refused, but I was afraid." I felt a cold fury rise. He didn't just want Meher arrested. He wanted us broken. Alina nodded. "And now we have proof." The door swung open. Zion stepped in, looking confident, arrogant. "What's happening here?" he demanded. "Who are these people?" Alina didn't flinch. "The people you bribed, Zion." Khalid Arshad. "Tell him the truth." Khalid swallowed. "I forged the signatures." Arshad accepted bribes. "All on Zion's orders." Zion laughed nervously. "That's not true. They're lying." "They're not," Arshad said, his voice steady now. "I have the records, the payments, everything." I watched Zion's face pale. "You can't prove anything." Alina held up a folder. "We have audio, transactions, statements. Inspector Raza is on his way. You're done." Zion's eyes darted around. "This isn't happening. You'll see, it's someone else's fault. They framed me." "Stop," I said sharply. "You framed my wife. That's enough." He turned to me, panic breaking through the arrogance. "You don't understand. I was protecting the family." "Protecting yourself," I spat. "You wanted control. You wanted power. And now it's over." A siren sounded outside. Raza stepped in, flanked by two officers. "Everything you hear here is recorded," he said. "You'll answer for this." Zion's confident smirk disappeared. He tried to speak, but the words faltered. He looked small, trapped by his own lies. "Inspector Raza," I said, She risked her career for us. Don't let him manipulate this any further. Raza nodded. We have everything we need. Zion backed up toward the door. This isn't fair. I didn't. Sit down, Raza said, or I'll make sure the court does. He froze. Then, realizing there was no escape, he slumped into a chair. His eyes darted between Khalid, Arshad, and me. For the first time, he looked like a man who had lost. I exhaled slowly. The man who tried to ruin my wife, I said quietly, is finally trapped by his own lies. Alina gave me a small, tired smile. It's done. For now. I turned to Meher, who had arrived silently behind me. She clutched my arm. You did it, she whispered. No, I said. We did it. Together. And for the first time since this nightmare began, I felt like we could breathe again. I watched Meher as the final papers were signed, clearing her name. Her hands trembled, and tears rolled down her cheeks. It's over, she whispered. It's really over. I grabbed her hand immediately. It is, I said, my voice breaking. You're safe. We're safe. She clung to me, sobbing quietly. I can't believe it. I thought I'd lose everything. You won't, I said firmly. I won't let anyone touch you again. Alina stood a few feet away, her arms crossed, her gaze fixed on the floor. She hadn't said a word since Inspector Raza confirmed Zion's suspension and the investigation into his company. I finally walked over to her. Alina, I owe you more than I can say. You saved her. You saved us. She didn't look at me. I didn't do it for you, she said softly. Her voice barely carried. I did it because I couldn't live with another betrayal on my conscience. I frowned. Another betrayal? She finally lifted her eyes, and I saw the tears she'd been holding back. Years ago, I broke you. I hurt you when I shouldn't have. I thought I could live with it, but I couldn't. Not when someone else was suffering because of lies. Because of what I didn't stop. I swallowed hard. You don't have to explain. Just thank you. She shook her head. No, you deserve to hear it. I can't fix the past, Ayan, but I can stop it from hurting anyone else. Meher, still holding my hand, looked between us. Alina, I don't know what to say. I owe you my life. Alina shrugged, turning toward the door. You don't owe me anything. Just take care of him, and take care of each other. I stepped forward. Wait, are you leaving? She nodded. I've requested a transfer. I can't stay here. Too many memories. Too many ghosts. This is my way of moving forward without dragging anyone else down. Alina, you could have stayed, I said quietly. We could have. No, she interrupted gently. This isn't about me. It's about you and her. About what you have together. You don't need me hovering, reminding you of what I took from you. I nodded, unable to speak. My chest felt heavy, but it wasn't anger or fear. It was relief, mixed with something I didn't recognize entirely. She paused at the door, hand on the handle. Then, looking back, she said something that made my heart stop. Take care of her, she said slowly, her voice breaking. She is the woman I wish I understood before I broke you. I felt my throat tighten. Alina! She gave me a faint smile, one that carried both sadness and closure. And then she left. The door clicked behind her. I exhaled shakily and turned back to Meher. She was still trembling, still holding my hand tightly. I pulled her into my arms, wrapping her like I never wanted to let go. She's gone, I whispered. No one else can hurt us now. It's just us. Meher buried her face in my chest. I was so scared, she said. I thought your family, Zion, everyone would win. I know, I said. But look at him now. Suspended, under investigation, and our family, falling apart on their own. Not because of us. She lifted her head, looking into my eyes, and I saw the relief and love shining there. We survived, she whispered. Yes, I said, holding her tighter. We survived. Together. For the first time in weeks, I felt the weight lift from my shoulders. The fear, the betrayal, the uncertainty. It was finally over. I glanced once more toward where Alina had been. I wanted to call her, to thank her again, to somehow repay her for the impossible choice she'd made. But I knew she didn't want that. This was her closure, her atonement. I turned fully to Meher, pressing my forehead against hers. I promise, I said, I'll protect you. I'll cherish you. And I'll never let anyone come between us again. She smiled through her tears, squeezing my hand. I believe you, Ayan. I believe in us. And at that moment, I knew it was true. Love had survived the lies, the betrayals, the chaos. And finally, for the first time in a long time, I allowed myself to hope. Not just for us, but for a future free from the shadows of the past. We walked out of the office together, hands entwined, feeling like we were stepping into a life that was truly ours. Days passed, and slowly, life began to breathe again. Meher and I rebuilt our routine, each small moment of victory over the chaos Zion had tried to create. I never thought we'd sit like this again, she said one evening, leaning against me on the couch. Neither did I replied, running my fingers through her hair. But here we are, still standing. She smiled, a soft, relieved smile. We survived him, and the rest of it. I chuckled lightly. We did, but the scar remains. I'll never forget what he tried to do. I don't want to forget, Meher said. Not the pain, not the fear. It reminds us how strong we are together. I nodded, squeezing her hand. You're right. It's a scar, not a wound. And we'll carry it as proof that we survived. The days stretched into weeks, and the fear that had haunted us finally loosened its grip. Alina's presence, though absent physically, lingered in my mind. I kept thinking of her, the woman who once destroyed me, now the one who saved us. One morning, my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. I hesitated, then opened it. One line. I hope your heart never breaks again. I stared at the screen. Alina, from a new city, a new life. My chest tightened, but this time, it wasn't fear or anger. It was closure. The woman who had once torn me apart had finally made peace with herself. And with me. I showed Meher the message. She read it, her eyes widening. She really did care, in her own way, she said softly. I know, I replied. And now we can finally move forward without ghosts following us. The phone slipped from my hand as I leaned back, thinking about the strange twists of fate. My ex had come to arrest my wife, to bring chaos into our lives, but she did the opposite. She faced her own mistakes. She stopped a betrayal before it could fully hurt us. And in doing so, she gave me freedom. Meher rested her head on my shoulder. You've been carrying so much, she said. Now it's time to breathe. Truly breathe. I exhaled, letting the tension leave my body. For the first time in years, I feel like I can. She lifted her head to look at me. Do you ever think about her? I nodded slowly. Sometimes. But it's not about anger anymore. It's about understanding that people can change. Or at least try to. And sometimes, justice comes in ways we don't expect. She smiled faintly. Your ex became our savior. That's ironic. I chuckled. Life has a strange sense of irony. It's messy, painful, and unpredictable. But this moment right here, it's ours. We sat in silence for a while, letting the quiet settle around us, a quiet that felt like healing. I thought about the months of betrayal, the nights of fear, the rage and helplessness I had felt, and I realized something important. Betrayal had once destroyed me, But this time, justice had protected me. I turned to Meher, holding her hands in mine. "We're free," I said. "Free from fear, free from lies, free from anyone who tried to control us." Her eyes glistened. "And free to love without shadows." "Yes," I said. "Finally, free to love without shadows." I looked at the ceiling, thinking about Alina one last time. She had been my nightmare, my past, my fear, and she had become the key to my peace. Karma had worn a badge, walked into my life, and changed everything. "Are we ready?" Meher asked softly. "For what?" I asked, smiling. "For life," she said. "The real life we've been waiting for." I pulled her into my arms, feeling her warmth, her trust, her love. "We're ready," I said. "More than ever." And in that moment, I let go. I let go of the anger, the fear, the shadows of the past. I let go of Zion, of betrayal, of everything that had tried to break us. For the first time in many years, I felt free. Truly free.